Hello, Excel ninjas in the making, and welcome to the wonderful world of Excel. Ready for a life-changing journey? My name is Nora Junaid, and I'm going to help you advance from the white belt. This tutorial is an intro to Excel. You will also be learning about various shortcuts, how to manage worksheets, cells and ranges, rows and columns. You will also be learning how to use Excel as a calculator and so much more. Whether you are an experienced user or a seasoned one, there's always an opportunity for you to discover itty-bitty tricks that will help you grow. Let's dive in. Being familiar with the basic terms and the Excel terminology is essential for anyone working with Excel. So let's take a look at the names of the most common commands so we're all on the same page. When you open Excel, you can either choose to create a new blank workbook or open an existing one. This is what the workbook looks like, and it's comprised of several worksheets. Think of your Excel workbook as a folder that has several documents called sheets. This is a column, this is a row, and their intersection is what we refer to as a cell. A cell's name is a combination of the letter of the column and the number in the row. For example, this is D5, and this is the name box. It tells you which cell is active. You can type in the name of the cell and Excel will take you there. This is the formula bar, and you can type in text and edit your cell's content. Note that when I select my cell, its name is referenced in the name box and the text is in the formula bar. This is the ribbon. It enables you to quickly find and use commands for various tasks. This is the Tell Me box. It helps you find whatever you're looking for in a jiffy. You can zoom in and zoom out from the plus and minus signs right at the bottom. Alright, let's talk about worksheets. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new worksheet and name it My Worksheet. So I can either right click and go to Insert and choose a worksheet and hit OK. Excel is going to name it Sheet 1. I'm going to right click and rename it My Worksheet. Now here's a fun fact for you. Do you know that you cannot rename your worksheet History? Try it out. Excel will not allow it. This exercise is supposed to teach you tips and tricks. So instead of going to your worksheets, right-clicking and hitting Insert, a cool trick would be hitting Shift and F11. Excel automatically names the worksheets by default Sheet 2, Sheet 3, and Sheet 4. You can also manage the properties of your worksheet by right-clicking, going to Tab Color and choosing a color. A very cool shortcut here is Alt-H-O-T. So just remember the shortcut HOT, and it will automatically open the color pane. Now instead of me going back and forth in my workbook to select a worksheet, a very cool hack would be hitting Control Page Up and Control Page Down. So hitting Page Up with Control or Page Down will allow you to go to the next or the previous worksheet. Now your worksheet seems pretty nice, but what if I want to hide or unhide my grid lines? You can do that by going to View and selecting Grid Lines, or unselecting the grid lines, or also a very cool shortcut would be Alt-WVG. And if you hit Alt-WVG again, your grid lines are there again. Looking for a specific worksheet, you can either click on the left and right buttons over here, or these three dots, which will show you the worksheets that are hidden, or the three dots right over here to show you the worksheets that are on the left of your workbook. But there's no need really to do any of that, because a simple and cool trick would be to right click between the buttons, and Excel is going to list all your worksheets right over here. So I'm going to select Excel worksheets, hit OK, and I'm back where I started. Now you can also copy a worksheet. Right click and select Move or Copy. Or a very cool trick would be just to hold your worksheet, select Control and just drag it. And there you go, you have a worksheet that is copied. Last but not least, how can you select adjacent worksheets? You can do that by clicking on the first worksheet, hitting Shift, and going to the last worksheet you want to select. If you want to unselect any of the worksheets, just hit Control and unselect them. How do you select non-adjacent worksheets? Well, Control is going to be your new best friend anytime you want to select something that is non-adjacent in Excel. So to select non-adjacent worksheets, I'm going to hit Control and I'm going to select the worksheets I want. An Excel hack is that anytime you want to select adjacent worksheets, cells, rows, columns, Shift is going to be your new best friend. And anytime you want to select something that is not adjacent in Excel, all you need to do is hit Control. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to delete a worksheet by simply right-clicking and hitting Delete. Cells and ranges. To begin with, how do you navigate to a cell? Let's suppose you want to locate cell T31. Do I just scroll? Of course not. That is not precise and very inefficient. Instead, you can use the name box. A shortcut to get to the name box is Alt and F3. And right over here, I'm in my name box and I'm going to hit T46 for example, and I'm going to hit Enter. Excel is going to take me to that cell. Another way is to hit F5 and this will open the Go To dialog box, and then I can say I want to go to cell T45, hit Enter, and as you can see again, Excel takes me there. Now in case I want to move to the very beginning of my worksheet, I can press Control Home and this will take me to the very first cell in my worksheet. If I hit Control and End, this will take me to my last active cell in my worksheet. If I go to any selection, let's suppose I am looking at this range and I hit Control A once, it will select the range. If I hit Control A again, it will select my entire workbook. Using control and arrows can also save me a lot of time. So let's suppose I am at 017 and I want to move to the end of my dataset. If I hit Control and the right arrow, it will take me to the very end of my range. If I hit Control and down arrow, left again, up again, this will move me to the ends of my dataset. Now, while hitting Control and arrows is going to allow me to jump from the beginning of my selection to the very end, if I add Shift to the mix, I can now select. So I'm at 017 again, and I'm going to hit Control Shift and the right arrow to select everything until the end. And then if I hit Control Shift and down arrow, it selects everything downwards. Now I'm going to navigate to cell F32. I'm going to hit Alt and F3 to access the name box, and then I am going to hit F32, Enter. So I'm right at F32. And now I want to start editing my cell's content. You can double click or you can go to the formula bar, but a nice shortcut would be just to hit F2. So F2 allows you to edit your cell's content, and I'm going to type in amount and I'm going to hit Enter. At any point in time, if I want to cancel entering my selection, I can hit Escape. So I'm going to go to F2 again, and I'm going to enter the word amount, and I'm going to hit Enter. As you realized, when I hit Enter, Excel took me to the next cell downwards. Does that always have to be the case? Of course not. There are actually a few tricks where you can type in text and then move to the left, right, up, or down. So let's move to this example here. In cell T30, I'm going to start by typing in hello. To move to cell T31, which is right below it, all I need to hit is Enter. Now I'm going to type Excel Ninja, but I want to move to U31, which is on the right side. So I'm going to hit Tab, and then I'm going to type in shortcuts. But instead of going downwards, I want to move to U30, which is one cell up. So I'm going to hit Shift and Enter. Now I'm going to type in fun, and I'm going to go back to T30 by hitting Shift and Tab. Last but not least, if I want to stay on the same cell, all I need to do is hit Ctrl and Enter after editing it. So I'm going to go to the Hello cell and I'm going to type in End, and I'm going to hit Ctrl and Enter, and there you go. I stayed in the same cell. Now let's talk about clearing cell contents. Suppose I want to clear the content from this range. If I hit Delete, it's not going to delete everything, it's only going to delete the contents. So instead of hitting Delete, go to Home, and then under Editing, there are several clear options. Clear All is going to clear everything in my cells, including formatting, content, comments. Clear Formats is only going to delete my formats, while Contents is only going to clear my contents. You can also clear comments and notes and hyperlinks as well. So I'm going to go ahead right over here and hit Clear All, and as you can see, even the formatting is now gone. Now let's suppose you want to clear the format from range G33 all the way down. I'm going to hit Ctrl Shift and the down button, and I'm going to go to Clear, and I'm just going to clear my formats. Next, let's try to format a cell. So I'm going to go to I31, and I'm looking to apply an outside border. So you can right click and then access the formatting menu. But what you can also do is just hit Ctrl and 1, and it will access the format dialog box. I'm going to go to border, and I'm going to apply an outside border, and I'm going to hit Enter. This cell now has a border. Next, I'm going to go to E32, and I want to underline the word item. So I'm going to hit Ctrl 1 again, and right over here under underline, I'm going to choose a single, and I'm going to hit OK. A nice shortcut is Ctrl U. Now I want to type produce instead of item. So I'm going to select the cell and hit F2, and I'm going to insert produce and hit Enter. Now can you select adjacent cells? Remember what we said about Shift? I'm going to hit Shift and show you how to select adjacent ones. In case you want to select non-adjacent ones, I'm going to select apples, and while I'm hitting Control, I'm going to select bananas and then lemons down here. Rows and columns. Here's a fun fact for you. Do you know that a single worksheet can have more than 1 million rows and around 16,000 columns? That's a lot, because if you multiply them, the number is amazing. To select a row, just hit Shift and space. And in order to select a column, hit Control and space. To insert a column or a row, just right-click and hit Insert. To auto-fit a column, Alt-H-O-I is your way to go. To auto-fit your rows, it's Alt-H-O-and-A. Here's a cool trick. You can insert multiple rows between two rows by just making your selection, hitting Shift, and then when the cursor changes, you can insert as many rows as you'd like. This will save you time, because rather than inserting one row at a time, you can just do it all at once. Lastly, to zoom in and out, just hit Ctrl, Alt, and the plus sign in order to zoom in, and Ctrl, Alt, and minus in order to zoom out. Remember your new two best friends? Let's see them in action over here as well. So in order for you to select non-adjacent columns, I'm going to select my first column, hit Ctrl, and keep on selecting. However, if I want to select adjacent columns, and the same goes for rows, is selecting one column or row, hitting Shift, and then making my last selection.